Good evening and welcome to tonight's 6 p.m. presentation. A lot of optimism still in the market and big developments coming out of Saudi Arabia yesterday. Now, last week I did do videos of both AMD and nvidia. One story came out showing that the Trump administration trying to pull back some of those CHIP Act restrictions, right? Which cost AMD and nvidia a lot of money when it comes to revenue. And with those restrictions being pulled back, optimism in the market, some good chart patterns, we're starting to see some life in the semiconductor industries. Now, there's two industries in the VectorVest 7 software. We're going to take a look at both industries and the top 5 stocks in both industries and see if there's any opportunities. Before we jump into the software, I have one article to share with you. A lot of good information if you plan on buying semiconductor stocks going forward. So if this is something that you're interested in, stick around and let's get started. All right, so big news coming out of Saudi Arabia yesterday. The Sovereign Wealth Fund in the Trump administration coming to a deal bringing $600 billion of AI investment. And there's two stocks caught right in the crosswinds of this, going to benefit both these positions. You can see right here, Bank of America already raising price targets on nvidia and AMD. This is going to lift up the semiconductor industry in general. As I scroll down, the price target for nvidia increased to 160, implying a 23% upside after yesterday's close. Also adding $10 to his price target for AMD, $130, which is 15% upside. So I do like the revisions, the optimism in the semiconductor space in general over the last several weeks. A lot of news stories coming out. So let's go ahead and jump in the VectorVest 7 software, take a look at the stocks, see if there's any opportunities presenting themselves. All right, we're in the VectorVest 7 software. You see I got two stocks up here, AMD and ASML. The reason why I have these two stocks, they represent both industries for the electronic sector, the semiconductor manufacturing and semiconductor equipment. So the first stop, we're going to go into semiconductor manufacturing. All right, here's the top positions when it comes to semiconductor manufacturing. You see we have 67 stocks in the space here. We're just looking at the top 5. And no surprise, we got nvidia at the top of the list. These are in order by overall VST. That's a combination of value, safety, and timing. So the stock with the best of those attributes at the top of the list here, nvidia once again. No surprise, right? Second place, we got Broadcom. A lot of momentum here. You see the RT relative timing. This looks at the short-term price trend. That's what's bringing this one to the second on the list. This position has the highest RT in the list here, so it's very high momentum play. Monolithic Power, same situation, right? High momentum RT at 1.72. Both of these companies out of the 5, these are the two overvalued companies. So investors are willing to pay a premium. Our value is not a price target. It's simply what we feel that the stock is currently worth. Now, if we take a look at nvidia, AMD, and Taiwan Semiconductors, you can see all three of these positions are undervalued right now. NVIDIA trading at 132, value 158, AMD 119. We value at 137 as well. Taiwan Semiconductor, undervalued. So there are some great opportunities when it comes to the space. And looking forward, if we take a look at the earnings growth rate here, double digits across the board, 41% for NVIDIA, 25% for Monolithic Power, tied with Taiwan Semiconductor. And then the last place tied at 24%. All of these stocks have buy recommendations from the VectorVest software. So again, you can see exactly why I'm starting to get more optimistic about the semiconductor space over the last few weeks. And I'll probably be starting Semiconductor Thursday once again here in the near future. All right, now we are in the semiconductor equipment side of things, right? We're looking at the top 5 stocks. There's 44 stocks found in the VectorVest software in this industry. That being said, these names here, I mean, there are some big names. We've got Lam Research, Applied Material, ASML, but some smaller, more unknown companies, MKS, Advantis Corp, in the list here. So we are going to take a look at these graphs. If we take a look at valuation, ATEYY, look, undervalued, fairly valued. Lam Research coming in at $85. We value at $88, slightly undervalued. MKS, undervalued. Another position here, ASML. This is the only overvalued position, currently trading at $766. VectorVest software puts a valuation around $670, so investors are willing to pay a premium. If we take a look here, RT relative timing, these stocks are in an uptrend as well. Even for my long-term investors, RV relative value, which looks at an alternative investment, a AAA corporate bond, these stocks are set to outperform that bond. A lot of potential when it comes to these stocks here. Buy ratings across the board. Growth rate Earnings, look at this, double digits once again. So you can see exactly why I want to put the space on your radar going forward. Now we're in the charts. I do have several indicators. The green line here represents our valuation. We have the blue line, 20-day EMA. And then down below, we have our earnings per share. This is forecasted, the leading 12-month forecast of earnings per share. Things I liked about this stock: undervalued, value starting to rise, price action starting to rise. It's above the 20-day EMA, right? Buy recommendation as of a few trading days ago. Earnings per share on the rise. This stock I do like. It is a down day today, right? If you're looking for confirmation, take out today's high, or if you need some more confirmation, we do have a prior swing high here. Just take out this high back on the 17th of March, coming in at 58.73. Here we've got AMAT, valuation on the decline over the last 3 months. Price action also declining with the general market. However, went above that 20-day EMA a few weeks ago. And then down below, we do have our earnings per share, which was slashed. We can see that guidance being slashed at the beginning of the year here. But with valuation on the decline, earnings per share on the decline over the last 3 months, I'm seeing this more of a swing trade. Take a look at the technicals here. The stock is undervalued right now, fresh buy rating. So you do have some momentum to the upside already when it comes to this position. Next up is Lam Research, LRCX. I could see value on the rise, price action on the rise, earnings per share on the rise over the last 3 months. Price action now diverging away from that 20-day EMA, right? I do like this stock quite a bit here. We do have a prior swing high. You can take that out for confirmation. Otherwise, if you are in this position, drawing a nice trend line, as long as price action stays above that trend line, I'd remain bullish. Here's another position, MKSI. We can see the position undervalued. However, value is on the decline. Price action starting to make a turnaround, hit its low back on April 4th with a low of $54, coming in at 92 now. Almost doubling, with price action now above that 20-day EMA. But from a forecasted data standpoint, can't get too excited. We see the earnings per share on the decline, and with earnings growth rate coming in at 33% and outpacing sales growth rate at 8%, I do see that being a problem going into the future. Here we have ASML. I do like the price action on the rise, even though the stock is overvalued. Look at our valuation, also on the rise. So if I do get an overvalued position, I'd like to see our value rising with the price action of that position itself. We can see buy rating coming in over the last few trading sessions above the 20-day EMA. Earnings per share also on the rise. This is a position I can get behind. Now, I hope everyone found this video informative. Hope some of these stocks, put them on your radar. A lot of good positions when it comes to semiconductor, and a lot of good news when it comes to this industry as a whole. Now, everybody, enjoy your evening. If you found the video informative, hit that like button, hit the subscribe button, and I'll see you tomorrow night. Yeah.